Good morning or afternoon, evening if you're joining us. We are gonna pick up from last week. We were working deep on the spine and the core. So we're actually gonna pick up where we left off. So find a wall space again, a non-slippery surface so that we can use that traction to get the most out of our spine. And go ahead, just start by bringing the legs wide. Kick the heels out, pigeon toe the toes. And with that pigeon toe with the heels kicked out, we're already starting this entwining process in the legs, which actually translates to the core, to the spine, to our organs being supported. So roll from the outside edge of your hip towards the front of your thigh, towards your inner groin, that steel cable. And then you want the inner groin rolling towards the back of the thigh rolling towards the outer hip. So that's happening on both sides. Okay. And you'll feel an opening across the backs of your thighs, which is going to create more space across your sacrum, the base of the pelvis. And it's also going to create more strength across the lower spine. So really just have intelligence in your feet, working both legs. You might find that one side entwines easily and the other side, maybe you have to really build those neural pathways to reestablish that connection. So just work. It's as though you're working inside out, from inside your body, working outwards. And use your hands to open the backs of the thighs and feel the difference. There's a complete translation that happens in your pelvis and your spine when you find this. And then it's like your legs are clay and you're molding, sculpting them with your hands. So open the backs of the thighs. We're really encouraging the muscle, the tissue to entwine. Make sure your feet are on the same plane, so one's not an inch or two in front of the other. Again, that will translate to your spine. And then begin to put pressure on the outside edges of your feet. Good. So your inner arches are lifting up towards the ceiling. Again, it's going to tone the sacrum, tone the core, work muscles that you didn't know you had. Good. So equal pressure in your feet, right foot, left foot. And now imagine that you're spreading the floorboards wide towards the edges of the room. And again, that's going to activate new muscles you didn't know you had through your pelvic floor, through your spine, through your core, and all the way up through the neck. So continue to open the backs of the thighs. Open, open, open. Press on the outside edges of your feet. Lift your inner arches up. We're going to build the ankles, build the knees, support the joints. And again, imagine you're spreading the floor wide through the pressure of your feet, which is going to tone in through the hips and the spine. So a lot of low back strengthening is happening here. Glute strengthening. And then rebuilding those communication pathways between your legs, your knees, your ankles, your pelvis, your spine, your core, and the coordination of all of those. So we often enter class not having that relationship established between all of the different parts of the body. So we're reestablishing that. Good. And if your feet are tingling, you're getting more blood flow, circulation, You might feel your arches developing, starting to get fatigued. That's good. These are the things I want to hold long timings to start to build that new muscular memory, new cellular memory. Hands on your pelvis, bend forward. And now you're lifting with your center, heart center, sternum. So again, let's work from the bones. Let's work from our structure. So floorboards, you're pretending to spread them wide through the pressure of your feet. Take your spine long, making space between every single vertebra and reaching out the top center of your head. Roll your inner shoulders down your back. So center, armpit, chest is lifting, top shoulders rolling down, the back descending. Now imagine your two sit bones, the bones that you sit on, those are spreading wide. And you're going to find that through the pressure of your feet. So equal pressure in your feet. Pretend that you're spreading the floor wide to find the sit bones, which will translate to those lower spine muscles. Developing and stabilizing the sacrum. So see if you can coordinate those internal points. It's the coordination of the opposing actions of the different points is where that union happens in the body. And again, you can use your hand if you need to lift from the very base where your sit bones are, lifting those up towards the ceiling. That's going to release the groins long. Good. So yeah, literally grab the two sit bones, rolling up towards the ceiling. Get equal pressure in your feet. Press into the outside edges of your feet. Lift your heart upwards and forwards. I might have frozen there for a second. Lift your heart upwards and forwards. So yeah, working new muscles. And now we need to engage the legs to engage the spine. So draw the front thigh towards the wall behind you. Front thigh towards the wall behind you. And in order to find length in the spine, we want to engage the front of the thigh to the back of the room. And that's going to translate to the right and left side of your spine. So engage both legs equally, actively. Exhale, come up. Hopefully you're feeling that burning, that strengthening along the spine. Take a moment just to integrate that, coming back to neutral. Find a place to gaze on the floor in front of you. The one point of focus to balance the mind, focus the mind. And again, it just takes practice of these points of awareness until they become your new baseline. Right? So we have thousands and thousands of hours of living life. And now we want to have thousands and thousands of hours accumulated of living life with intelligence in the body, being connected to these points. So go ahead, use your thumbs to hook underneath your armpits, lifting what we call the armpit chest up towards the ceiling. Lift, 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 lift. And again, right, everything's connected, so everything else reorganizes when we change one thing. Armpit chest lifting. Now roll your trapezius, which is this thick muscle on the top shoulders that connects to the neck. Roll that down the back. So that's the muscular motion. And now we need to translate that action through the entire spine. So armpit chest lifting, trapezius rolling down and back. And now take that length and bring it through the top of your head and down through your tailbone. So let's do it together. Armpit chest lifting, use your hands. Roll your top shoulders down and back. Now draw your tailbone straight down. It's not a tuck of the tailbone. Imagine that you have a 50-pound weight growing your tailbone towards the floor, the base of the spine, the tip of the spine towards the floor. And at the same rate, you're growing like a sunflower towards the sun, up, reaching, extending out the top of the head, making spaciousness in the entire spine. And we truly can't access the awareness and the intelligence of the spine without accessing the awareness and intelligence of the feet and the legs. So press into the outside edges of your feet. Again, heels are kicked out, pigeon-toed. If you're getting any shaking, percolating in the musculature in the body, it's good. We're just rewiring the neural pathways. Again, open the backs of the thighs. And it's when you work subtly with these different points, you're going to find that shaking, those areas that we haven't used before, that new potential that's just been lying dormant. Open the backs of the thighs. Open the backs of the thighs. Right? The body needs to integrate all the information and basically get up to date. It's like we're updating our computer software, right? Open the backs of the thighs. Now again, this inner groin, it's just steel cable, the inner groin, you can feel it, is releasing towards the back of the thigh, rolling towards the back of the thigh. That's going to change your relationship to your pelvis, to your lower spine, to your sacrum. And at the same rate, this inner groin is reaching toward your inner heel. So you're being an artist, you're painting with your paintbrush, finding these inward movements. And the feet are going to start to strengthen. We're going to be supporting the tendons of the feet, the ankles. And again, your body starts to update, starts to integrate, just with awareness. So lift those inner arches up towards the ceiling. Lift your inner arches of your ankles up towards the ceiling. Draw the front of the knee to the back of the knee. Draw the front of the knee to the back of the knee. And we're never hyperextending. There's no lock of the knee. If you're a hyperextender, micro bend your knees. Everyone else, draw the front of the knee to the back of the knee. Draw the front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. Open the back of the thigh. Draw that inner groin towards the wall behind you. Yes, the feet are going to get fatigued. New muscles that you didn't know you had are going to be talking to you. Hips or low back might be screaming with that awakening, that burning, that strengthening. Now spread all 10 toes wide. The maps of your feet, spread all 10 toes wide. And again, it's not until we start to work with that intelligence of the feet that we can translate that to the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the neck. Good. So continue with that pressure in your feet. Imagine that you're spreading the floorboards wide. Again, any shaking, percolation is good. Breathe through it. Try and smooth it out through your breath. Again, draw the front of the leg to the back of the leg. Front of the leg to the back of the leg. Press into the outside edges of your feet. Press, 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 press. Good. And now you're starting to get that integration right and left, front and back, top to bottom. So again, hook your thumbs underneath your armpit chest. Lift that chest, get 2 inches taller. Reach to the top of the head, lengthen. Soften the soften the center brow. Soften the throat. Soften the side temples. Soften your jaw. And yet draw the tip of the tailbone towards the earth. The center top of the head towards the sky. Front ribs are reaching to the wall behind you. Front rib cage, you can feel your hands. Cup your rib cage, your front rib cage, your diaphragm sits right in the center between the 2 ribs. Cup your front ribs and encourage those backwards towards the wall behind you. Good. Sacrum, which is the back of the pelvis, is reaching towards the wall in front of you. Front ribs are reaching towards the wall behind you. Sacrum forward, ribs back, thighs back. So again, equal pressure of your feet, of your legs. You're working your legs like strong pillars. Strong pillars. Strong concrete pillars. Engage the legs. Work through the legs. We can't access the spine without the legs. Good, and then exhale. Gently bend the knees. We just did so much reorganization of the body from the inside out. So move very slowly. Don't shake it out. It's going to feel weird because you're not used to the adjustments. Don't shake it out to what you're used to. It's a mental thing. It's an unconscious thing that we do because we're used to how it used to feel. Big toes together, heels together. Bend the knees to set the legs. Bend the knees. Extend through all 10 toe tips. Press through the mounds of your big toes. So the ball of the big toe, you're pressing through there. Press through the mounds of the big toes. Press through your inner heel. So where your inner heel meets that inner arch, that's the spot. I don't know if you can hear this because Zoom sometimes blocks it out, but Layla is singing in the background and it's hilarious. So spread the toes. Again, we have to work with the intelligence of the feet to reset the intelligence of the pelvis, of the spine. So imagine that all 10 toes are growing longer. It's like sun rays, sun beams are beaming out your toe tips. Spread those sun rays, spread that sunshine. And you'll see as you start to work the different points of your feet, how that actually directly translates to the inner musculature of the spine, which is beyond the core. And again, we're getting that internal rotation. So allow the You're taking a micro seat with the knees micro bent beside you so you can see. And then the sit bones are spreading wide. We have to find our seat. So again, sunbeams, toe tips spreading wide. Press through the mounds of the big toes. Press through your inner heels as they are reaching through the floor. And look at your feet, like maybe the left foot is working really intelligently. Maybe the right side just hasn't figured it out yet. That's okay. Just keep working with it. You'll build those neural pathways. Big toes are reaching towards each other. Take your seat. So find the center seat with your center ankles and line them up. With your center heart and the center top of your head. Line it all up, line it all up, line it all up. We still have that micro bend. Again, take your thumbs, grab that armpit, chest, and lift. It's the biggest stress relief. The biggest internal reset. Where the nervous system gets a new baseline that feels peaceful and playful. Remember that carefreeness that so many little kids have? That lives right here underneath this armpit chest. Just needs to be lifted so we can remember that carefreeness, that true self, that joy, that inherent joy. And it starts to restructure your shoulder girdle and the way that you hold yourself. And we've heard this, that your posture changes your state, your posture changes. What it really changes is that self-worth from the inside out. Meaning no external circumstance changes that self-worth because it comes from the inside out. Roll the top shoulder down the back. Chase your lower ribs, your lowest side ribs, feel it, so you can feel where they are. Chase those towards the floor. Now find your feet, the intelligence of your feet. Cats, right? They have the coolest paws. They can land on their feet. They're fast. They have some bounce in them. We got to redevelop those feet. So we can run freely like little kids. Spread the bottoms of the feet. Press through the mounds of the big toes. Press through your inner heels. We're rebuilding that. It's like a shock absorption in the body, in the feet. And yeah, the tops of your feet might be burning because you're building them. And now we're going to press through the center outside edge of the foot. So the very bottom of the outside edge of your foot, right between the pinky toe and the heel. Imagine that you have a line going straight down from that point into the floor. And it's add-on, so you're just doing as many of the points as you can collectively. Whether you start with 2, 3, 10, 80, you'll work your way up. Press through the mounds of the big toes. Press the inner heel down to the floor. Press the center outside edge of the feet to the floor. Have you ever used a drill gun and you're drilling through a piece of wood, a 2x4, drilling, and boom, it goes through the wood? Imagine those drill bits on the mounds of the big toes, the center outside edge of your feet and your inner heels. We're just drilling through the floor. Drill, 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 drill. Such a foot workout. So much foot coordination. And then again, that absolutely translates into life, into your freedom, into your flexibility, onto the basketball court, whatever it may be. And don't forget those drill points, those points of the feet directly translate to the strength of the spine. So it feels like a lot of concentration focus, and it is, but the direct translation that it has in your spine and your mind is so worth the effort, beyond worth the effort. Lift that armpit chest up to the ceiling, roll the top shoulders down and back. Find the outside edges of your rib cage, reaching down. Okay, so again, it's add on. How many of these points can you be aware of at once? Sometimes when we add new points, we lose the other ones. So play add on. How many of the points can you remember? How many of the points can you integrate at one moment? And it just takes practice. Glutes are chasing towards the floor. Yes, we still have the micro bend of the knees. Armpit chest is lifting that self-worth from the inside out. Roll the trapezius, the top shoulder muscles down the back. Roll, 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 roll. There's a strengthening that will happen across your lower rib cage, across your spine, across your pelvis when you roll those trapezius down the back. Roll, roll, roll. Now, don't lose the trapezius, but take your arms straight up above you, palms together. And you're reaching those arms behind your ear holes. That's what you're working towards. So you're working towards completely straight arms, no bend in the arms. All 10 fingertips touching. Spread your palms wide, your fingertips wide. Yes, we're still micro bending at the knees. Fingertips wide. Again, we're looking for that human potential that we access through the body that opens up new neural pathways, that opens up different parts of the brain that we weren't using before. So reach through those pinky fingers, ring fingers, middle fingers, pointer fingers, thumbs expand, and the forearms will fatigue. So you're going to use your breath, breathing through your nose to find that effortless effort. So you're finding such an extension through your fingertips, arms growing longer, spine growing longer, solid, strong foundation in your feet. You're finding such extension that it becomes effortless. It's like a feeling of floating, a feeling of levitation through lengthening. Exhale, arms down, palms up, arms wide. Remember the inner shoulder, the trapezius muscles chasing down the back. It's like you're literally sculpting a sculpture, sculpting a body through your brain, through your awareness. Roll the top shoulders down the back, top shoulders down the back, chasing towards the glutes, glute muscles, glutes chasing towards the heels. And again, you're extending so much through your fingertips that you begin to find an effortless effort. Do you remember that game that you probably played as a little kid where you stand in a doorway and you press your arms? You're keep your arms up, but you're pressing so much between the doorway. You press, 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 and then you step out of the doorway and your arms just levitate up. It's like that. Armpit chest lifting, inner heels descending. And now that we're on the subject, can you get your weight right over your heels? So the point from your inner heels, those drills descending into the floor, are aligned with your center pelvis, are aligned with your center heart, center rib cage, center throat, center top of the head. Woo! Now that is some work. Smooth breathing through the nose till you get to that effortless effort. And the muscles are engaging to the bone. So your arms, your underarm muscles are engaging to the bone. It's an action that comes from the inside out. Find it. You can find it in your brain. You can find it in your nervous system. So again, this muscle, the skin, this tissue underneath the arm is engaging to the bone. Build those neural pathways. Spread the shoulders wide. Tops of the shoulders, that trapezius muscle. Exhale, arms down. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I saw that. We were ready to come out of that one, weren't we? Okay, so we're going to straighten the legs so the knees are slightly bent. Lift the kneecaps up to the ceiling. Here's your knees. Here's your kneecaps. Lift your kneecaps up to the ceiling. It's weird, right? It's important. You watch little kids, they do it naturally. They haven't lost this intelligence. They just do it. They walk around like this. Inner shoulders, inner trapezius, rolling down the back. Palms facing forward. Spread your palms wide. There's more human intelligence. Again, we're literally accessing the intelligence of the body, the spine, the brain, the nervous system by working strategically, by finding these multiple points of awareness at once. By going to the awareness of your pinky fingers. By cultivating awareness in the side rib cage. Places that we don't occupy enough. Okay. So those points of your feet, the inner heels, right inner heel drilling through the floor, left inner heel drilling through the floor. Now from those points, extend up towards the ceiling as you continue drilling down. Also extend up towards the ceiling. Equal opposing actions. Drilling through the inner heels, through the floor, lengthening through the entire body, knees, hips, chest, neck, top of the head. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen more, but don't lose that awareness of your inner heels. So continue to lengthen from those inner heels in both directions, through the floor, align everything else in the body, top of the head, with those inner heels. Now take your chin, square it direct to your center heart, center sternum. Center heart, center sternum. Center heart, center sternum. And then reach through those pinky fingers, reach through your fingertips, reach. And again, through the palms of your hands, spreading wide, we're going to access the intelligence of the shoulders, Roll the top trapezius muscles down and back, translating to the spine. Lengthen the back of the neck long. Equal pressure in your feet. We're focusing on the inner heel points. Woo! Open the backs of the thighs. Whoops, we forgot about the backs of the thighs. Open the backs of the thighs. Now spread wide across the bottoms of your feet. Press through the mounds of the big toes. Isn't it cool that translation? You have one point at the bottom of your foot and it translates through your side waist, through your spine, through your neck, through your jaw, the way you hold yourself. We're engaging the front of the legs to the back of the legs. So again, those kneecaps are lifting to the ceiling. You will find it. You will build that neural pathway. And then the groins are soft. So how do we have a pose of such strength that's also poised, graceful, again, effortless effort? It's not that you're not applying effort. You're extending through your limbs, which builds enormous strength. And that extension beyond your fingertips, beyond the top of your head, beyond your feet, also makes it feel effortless, gravityless. Smooth breathing. Open the armpit chest. Roll the top shoulders down the back. Engage underneath the arms. Again, you're going to find that engagement underneath the arms through reaching through your fingertips. Soft, smooth breathing. It's almost like you're giving a huge hug, right? So spread the collarbones wide. Yes, the legs are gonna maybe have some shaking as the muscles reorganize, adhering to the bone, which makes it structurally so much stronger. Yes, we're changing old muscular patterns in the shoulders, and that feels uncomfortable. Roll the top shoulder down the back. Good job. Exhale, release. But just stand there. Do you feel taller? Is the jaw softer? Is the heart more open? It took a good amount of work to get to this point, right? But how good does it feel? Can you imagine living this way all the time? Having that level of awareness and strength and poise, again, that effortless effort, that buoyancy in your spine and your heart, that self-worth from the inside out that's not touched by external circumstances. So again, the feet, the big toes are trying to touch each other. You got the sunbeams shooting out your toe tips. And if you've had any injuries in your body, and pretty much everyone has had injuries in their body at some point, right? The subtlety of this work, the subtlety of just standing here, working on these points, starts to rebuild that communication network between your body, between those injury sites and the rest of your body. I think of a snake shedding its skin. We're shedding our skin. We're regenerating, we're rebuilding, stepping into that new space, that new length. Heart lifting. So your center heart, center sternum is lifting upwards and forwards at a 60-degree angle where the ceiling meets the wall. Lift. Lift like your life depends on it, which it does. Lift, which it can. Open the backs of the thighs, open the backs of the thighs, open the backs of the thighs. Press through the points of the feet like you're drilling through the floor. Lift the heart, that center sternum upwards and forwards. And you'll start to build that connection now between the feet and the upper spine, the thoracic spine, the heart region. Open the heart. And again, it's happening through the pressure of the feet, rolling the top shoulders down and back. Now palms facing forward, extend through all 10 fingertips. Lengthen the back of the neck. Yes, you're probably a couple inches taller than you were when we started. So, rewiring the body. Again, find the points of your feet. Open the backs of the thighs. Release your inner groins towards the floor. Legs get longer. Lengthen through your legs. Make more spaciousness in the joints. Draw your center tailbone to the earth, to the floor. Roll the top shoulder down the back. Roll the top shoulder down the back. Roll the top shoulder down the back. Extend through your pinky tips, your pinky fingers. Tailbone descending. Lengthening out the center top of your head. Face soft, spine long. Good. Breathe. Smooth breath. Smooth breath. Smooth breath. Breathing through your nose. Again, we're letting everything integrate, everything reconnect. All those communication pathways. Front of the knee, reaching to the back of the knee. Extend the arms longer. Extend the arms a little wider. Now that inner arm is rolling towards the top of the arm. Top of the arm is rolling towards the back of the arm. Back of the arm is rolling towards the front of the arm. So you're getting an external rotation of your arms. Upper arm specifically. Go ahead, feel it. Use your left hand to your extended right arm. Thumb at the base, fingertips towards the ceiling. Grab from the lower arm, roll the lower arm towards the inner arm towards the upper arm. Feel that massive reset in your shoulders. External rotation. You've got to get those shoulders in place, working properly. Good. Keep holding. Keep extending through your fingertips. Exhale, release. Integrate that. Feel the difference between your right arm and your left arm. Your right shoulder and your left shoulder. Exhale. Grab the left arm. Thumb underneath the arm, fingertips up towards the ceiling. External rotation. Rolling the underarm towards the inner arm towards the top upper arm. External rotation. Roll. Feel that relationship between your scapula, your shoulders, your arms, your rib cage. Remember, lengthen the rib cage, draw the front rib cage back. Remember, when one thing changes, everything else has to reorganize. So again, find your base, find the drill points of your feet, kneecaps engaged, center belly button to the center spine, center sternum lifting, external rotation of your arms. Exhale, release. There's so much to integrate, isn't there? But it's liberating. It's liberating. Even if you get 3 of the points, it's liberating. Open the backs of the thighs. Release through the fingertips. Soften the forehead. Soften the throat. Release the grip of the sphincter. Yeah. Release the grip. So that's going to happen by opening the backs of the thighs. It's a very common habit that we don't know that we're doing. It's a way to find control, control, especially in moments where we don't feel a sense of control. So the cool thing is, again, it's totally common, normal thing. The cool thing is that when you open the backs of the thighs and you soften that grip of the sphincter, all of a sudden your side waist lengthens. All of a sudden your heart lifts. All of a sudden this inner strength happens, this coordination between the whole body. And it truly doesn't matter if you don't have control. In fact, you thrive when you don't have control. You're fine. It doesn't faze you. It's like, woohoo, cool, challenge. Got this. And again, it's that internal belief in yourself. It's that self-worth from the inside out. You don't need that sense of external control because you're good. You got it. From the inside out, you're good. Life is absolutely going to have curveballs, and that's okay. Sort of becomes fun. You like look at kids, right? They actually love challenges. We just need positive challenges. So they're building obstacle courses, right? Overcoming fun challenges in the moment. How are we going to get up over this? How are we going to get under this? How are we going to get through this? It becomes fun. It becomes a game. And so when you have that internal landscape, when those bigger life challenges come, it can still feel fun, truly. It can still feel playful. It can still feel doable, unknown, totally unknown, but exciting, doable. Okay, spread the arms wide. Now take them up. You're still getting that eagle's wingspan. So spread across your back scapulas, your back shoulders, spread wide. External rotation of the arms, so your top shoulder is rolling down the back. This top upper arm is rolling down the back. This inner low underarm is rolling up towards the ceiling. Underarm rolling up towards the ceiling. Underarm rolling towards the front of the arm, front of the arm. rolling towards the top of the arm, top of the arm, rolling towards the back of the arm. So it's it's like a wheel. It's a continuous action that does not stop. Just as a wheel keeps spinning, a wheel of a bicycle is moving, the wheel of your arms is in continuous action. Exhale, holy moly. Okay, so just take a moment to integrate this. Don't shake it out. Remember, our tendency is to go to our old patterns because it's what we know. Pause, let your body integrate this, let your brain integrate this, let your nervous system integrate this. Let this become your new baseline. And then there becomes this, I guess, word that comes to mind is grace, a graciousness, a gracefulness, a playfulness, a spaciousness, right? That's my probably favorite way to describe it. There's more spaciousness. So if you're hit with a problem, conflict, there's more spaciousness between you and the conflict, more spaciousness between you and the emotion. So it feels like there's a pause. There's a pause. And in that pause, you can learn how to respond versus react, right? If there's no pause, it's a reaction. But it's through our structure, it's through our posture that there becomes this built in spaciousness in our body and our nervous system and our brain and our awareness and our perception of the world and our relationship to the world, to each other, to circumstances. And then it really becomes fun, really becomes fun. Exhale, release towards the ground, come to seated position. And problem solving really is fun. So when you learn math as a kid and you start to solve those problems and you start to get those answers, that equation, you start to understand it, it can be fun. Spread the sit bones wide. As an artist, it's just pure problem solving. And it becomes fun. And then your life becomes a canvas and it becomes fun. So again, lift that inner armpit chest up towards the ceiling, roll the top shoulders down and back. Take a huge deep breath through the entire barrel of your lungs. If you're getting the barrel of your lungs all the way to your top shoulder, you'll inherently get breath in your belly. You'll inherently change your relationship to the diaphragm. So your lungs should be like a huge barrel. Okay, and BKS Iyengar, he just kept expanding his ribs, his lungs, his capacity, his air capacity, his nervous system capacity. So when he aged, he wasn't shrinking and getting smaller like we see. He did the opposite. He expanded, he got broader, he got stronger, more elastic, okay? So we have to work this relationship with our lungs, which is why the breath is so important. So palms facing up. All of that work that we did today, all of that standing, really just set us up to have more capacity in life and our nervous system. and more capacity in our lungs and our rib cage. So go ahead, center chin is aligned with your center chest, center heart. And that center sternum is lifting towards your chin. Reach to those fingertips. And that's why you have to work the body first before you can really get into the pranayama, which is the breath work. So find your two sit bones, reach through your inner sit bones towards the earth. Let your face be soft, let your eyes close. Find that extension at the top center of your head. Eyes are closed. Imagine your gaze is at the tip of your nose. Tip of your nose is aligned with your center chin aligned with your center sternum. Lift that center sternum upwards and forwards. Roll the top shoulders down and back. And now you have your seat, your posture. So as you have the awareness of your spine, which should be active, you also have the softness of your skin. I think of the spine as like electricity, like a lightning bolt. And then I think of the skin, soft like the petals of a flower, soft like the petals of a rose. And then the sit bones grounded. Good work. Go ahead and do a full inhalation to the top of your breath through your nose. Inhale. Pausing at the top of your breath. Exhale to the bottom of your breath. Exhale through your nose. Exhale. Pause at the bottom of your breath. Normal breathing. Okay. Palms together. Elbows weighted. Chin towards your chest. Bowing that forehead towards the chin. Chin towards the heart. And I'm going to let you just stay here for a moment. So this will be your corpse, your integration. Just pause and sit here. You can have your palms facing up again. See if you can keep that heart open and lifted. Soften the throat. Release the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Imagine that the side temples are opening like horse's eyes. Sit bones are grounded. Spine is long, reaching, lengthening, extending. And then slow your breath. You want smooth, steady breath through your nose. So a smooth, soft inhalation and a smooth, soft exhalation. So I'm going to let you pause here in that breath, trying to make your breath as smooth as possible. We're at the top of the hour, so if you have to jump, jump. Otherwise, just stay here for a few minutes. You did all of that work to get to this point. When that spine hits more neutrality, the brain hits more neutrality. So just enjoy it. Love you all, and I'll see you next week. Stay here as long as you want to, as long as you can. Just again, focusing on the posture and the smooth breath. Smooth inhale, smooth exhale. Then we'll see you next time. Thank you. We can catch up in the group with any reflections. Love you all.